Take a look at the beautiful conditions in the backdrop here. Clouds blowing over, trade winds, palm trees, beautiful beach, absolutely spectacular. And the surf is pumping right now. The Hawaiian Pro continues. We're into round number 2, heat number 1. First time we've seen Jesse Mendez in red, Ramzi Bokheim representing Morocco in white, up against Granger Lawson and Thomas Hermes. We saw early this morning advance out of that first round of competition. A lot of traveling. Ramzi Bokheim. Ramzi is now living in Angers, France. Grew up in Agadir, Morocco, Northwest Africa. His nationality is Moroccan and Dutch. He is surfing for Morocco. So we take a look at our surfer who started things off earlier this morning, Thomas Hermes from Brazil. We saw early morning a couple of guys take some nosedives. And what happens there when you're looking down the line a little bit? I don't know. I don't think it's sun in the eyes, but how?
You're a workman right now. You're the blue collar QS guy.
Yeah, well, I actually just got dropped by Oakley this year, so you know, they've supported me well for the past 2 years, and I thank them for that. And yeah, hopefully I can pick something else up.
Well, keep on surfing like that, Thomas, and we're going to see you with some new sponsors on your board. Thomas Woods off into round number 2. Back up to you guys.
Hurley Australian Open. He went down to San Clemente for the Trestles event. Saquarema, Brazil, Africa, back to California, Portugal, back to Brazil for 3 events. Now he's in Hawaii. A lot of traveling. Look at this wave out the back. Ramzi Bokheim. We saw him open his act on the North Shore at the Vulcan Pipe Pro a couple of years ago. He is fearless. And he is from a land of right, so his backhand surfing is on point. And next up, Jesse Mendez is going to get into the fray here. Jesse's got a nice little throaty wave. Big move off the top, and he goes over the falls. Opportunity there, and he just uncorked it.
I'm really feeling the fact that Jesse Mendez put a lot of pressure on the deck of his board there. He was going for a real hefty backhand smash, but just pushed a little too hard, a little too late. I love the pace on that bottom turn right here for Ramzi. Great timing there. Nice crisp snap. Second one on the money, but he gets hung up just a little bit. And you can see he almost kind of had to, he got stuck on his heels there just for half a second. And because he got stuck on his heels, he wasn't able to get that third turn in. Nice snap right there. Big maneuver. Look at the size of this wave. Really nice there, but because he got hung on his heels right there just for a second, he missed that third turn. So that'll cost him a point or 2, but nonetheless, he'll get scored for those first 2 maneuvers. A lot of pressure on the deck right here. Nice little snap. Watch this maneuver. Really tries to hammer it home, but just pushed a little too hard. You can see his tail and his fins flew just a little too far out the back, and he couldn't re-grip to the wave and ride out of it. This is my favorite wave. There's a famous Rainbow Bridge that you were talking about earlier, Dave. That was just half of it. And here we go, Jesse.
Jesse Mendez looking for some speed, trying to make this section. Looks like he's done it. Kind of glassing to the inside. Chasing this one down, looking to do a big turn. He does it. And, oh, see, that's going to... Difficulty goes out of that one. And here, late hit. But Thomas Hermes seems to be on clockwork here. The way he just hits it at 12 o'clock, back to back to the inside. Oh, my. And he finishes that one off. And I believe... Well, we've seen a couple of wipeouts, and we just saw one. Might be able to bring it up. Ramzi Bokheim, his second wave. He opened with an 8.43. He's going to get a score for his second wave, but it wasn't pretty.
Kind of fixated on the fact that he didn't get that third maneuver in, but the judges loved his first 2 major maneuvers. So almost an 8.5 for him. And here's that wipeout. Again, a lot of these waves are super fast. So the second you take off, that wall stretches down to the toilet bowl. So you see a lot of floaters. A lot of these maneuvers are trying to get projection down the line. Thomas Hermes right here, if you're not familiar with this guy's surfing, he is one of my favorite guys to watch on a QS tour. He is so smooth. Reminds me a lot of a kind of a Fabio Gouveia from the 90s, or, you know, he's got that smooth, effortless power where he just really silky, loves to lean on that rail type of surfing.
2 of them take place right here on your soil. How important is this not only to all surfers, but especially the local talent here in Hawaii?
Yeah, Kalani, it's important for the locals, but also all the international guys. And you come in, you have a great year, you come to Hawaii, there's still opportunity for guys, you know, in the top 100 to qualify. As we saw Dusty Payne last year, we did 94th, coming into Haleiwa. He wins this event, jumps into the top 30. gets second or third at the World Cup and qualifies. So anyone in the top 100 really has an opportunity to qualify in these last 2 events.
Well, it looks like, yeah, go ahead, Strider.
You're watching that just now, live action. Ramsey went straight up on that bomb, broke the board, now he's going to come in and do some equipment changes. These guys have got to deal with so much here on the North Shore. You know, their swan song could happen, though, in these events, right? I mean, you got 2 10,000s, you win them both, you're qualified.
Well, forecasted to grow throughout the day. We've seen some great surfing this afternoon. The swell's going to peak in 6 to 8 foot range overnight. Should see some solid surf tomorrow and into Friday as well.
With that, you know, with the forecast and everything, I mean, you have the tools now, right? You've got the reads of the buoys. You understand the weather patterns. You got to be a weatherman, basically, to call these events. I mean, it must be pretty stressful.
It is stressful, especially when you have 6 lay days. And we have a 4-day contest that we're trying to fit into basically one swell. So we have reduced the heat times. We're going to try to fit it in 3.5 days. We're hoping to get a full day tomorrow and Friday, and then cherry pick that little northwest bump that we're supposed to get on Sunday and Monday.
Sometimes you're at the beach and you don't have one.
Oh, yeah.
It is just such a funny thing, but they got it done pretty quick.
Okay, he's lucky he didn't wrap his hands around the front of that because the fiberglass would have just eaten into his hands. There is a snap Tokoro, and that board right there for your mere mortal would be maybe $500-600.
I would say that might be wholesale price. Yeah, those things are costly, but those boards are looking amazing there from Ramsey Buchheim. And let's go ahead and take a little recap here, Dave. This is a 8.43. Brutal snap right there. You talk about commitment. He threw everything and a kitchen sink at those 2 sections right there. Yeah, he didn't capitalize on that last turn, but I tell you what, it would have been a tough section anyways, but that's an 8.43. And then Granger Larson, he's got himself a 6.3. You know, Thomas Hermes has a 6.8. So these guys are all kind of battling to really establish a winner in this heat. It's really an open door right now. So at 6-minute mark, there's still a lot of work left in this heat. But again, I love Thomas Hermes' style. I love his technique. I like his effort. He really loves to do his work in the rail. He's got a beautiful carve on him. And so just a 6.83 here. So this heat is still wide open.
Are we seeing that goofy footers might have an advantage in this surf because of the way they can dig and go vertical a little easier on their heel?
Qualifying for the World Tour before, so...
He's got first priority. Let's take a look what he's going to do in yellow. There he goes. He didn't have to look left. He doesn't care. Nobody can drop in on him behind. Nobody can hinder his scoring potential. Triple pump bottom turn there. Get some speed. Off the top, a little more juice, lay back hack, and unfortunately that doesn't work out. Larson needing a 3.51. Let me tell you about Ramsey Buchheim. He's going to make the highlights for 2 reasons. A couple of hideous wipeouts and a massive 8.43 to that 8.43.
Yeah, he had that broken board. We saw Ian Gittell in the heat prior with that really brutal wipeout on his ribs. Nice little flowing snap right here from Granger, but watch this hammer right here. Really tight section. See how tight that is? So in that transition, you can see the nose and the inside rail poked. So again, when you're going to go into those last maneuvers at the toilet bowl, you really need to err on the safety side, and usually that's a floater or a projection, like a tail slide out into the flats, so that you don't get your board stuck in that tight transition.
Similar though in shape, same tail, same kind of template, so a little bit of a step up, 2 inches up, but unbelievable, just blew the nose off of that one. Ross, you a former competitor yourself, how hard is it? The good news is for him, he's currently in the lead.
Thank you very much, Todd Klein. Now, it's so key when you take a look at a surfer, maybe not his height, but the weight, how he surfs, what he's going to surf, if he's going to be able to fit his board into the wave. Take a look at the backhand attack, float, and going down. Jesse Mendez is struggling right now, a 3.0 and a 2.70.
He's okay because he's got enough time to get back out there and catch another wave. And this is a big heat for Jesse Mendez. Again, he's rated the highest in this heat. He is 33 on the ratings.
Well, there's only a minute remaining, so he's not even going to give it a shot. You could pull up to the corner, but Jesse needing a 6.83 doesn't feel like he's going to get it. He is okay. We'll see him at Sunset Beach. Live action as we go to Thomas Hermes. Hermes is currently in the 2nd spot. Ramsey up in the lead, and Hermes with a 3.11 or better could take the lead. Now it's Buchheim. Long wall. This is going to close out. Let's see what he's going to do. Late hit and another hard fall. My neck's starting to hurt.
Well, we heard Todd Klein say that his backup board's a 6.4, so that is a few inches taller than his 6.1. That's a pretty big adjustment. That's a lot more length in front of him, so that may have been the culprit there in that last turn. It is a fresh surfboard. There's no doubt that board's going to be a keeper. It's going to be magic, but it is an adjustment if you're riding a board for the first time, especially with a few inches on it.
Do any surfers, as we clown now, any surfers come down with identical equipment?
It's pretty rare, especially at Haleiwa. A lot of times you want boards that kind of creep up with the incoming swell, but it didn't matter. Ramsey and Thomas held on for first and second.
There you go, Ramsey Pokham representing Morocco. Thomas Hermes from Brazil moved through. One more heat to go. Stay with us.